What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We've got a ton of NFL buzz to break down today. Trust me, you're going to want to stick around for this one. There's a new move coming out of Philly that might not be making big headlines yet, but it could end up being one of those under-the-radar decisions that pays off big. The Eagles just signed wide receiver Terrace Marshall Jr. to a one-year deal, and yeah, that name probably rings a bell if you've been following the league since the 2021 draft. He was a second-round pick back then, but since entering the NFL, things haven't exactly clicked. Still, the Eagles might be onto something here. Let's start with what we know. Terrace Marshall Jr. was taken early in the second round a few years back by the Carolina Panthers, coming out of LSU, one of the most respected programs in the SEC. His college tape had scouts buzzing: size, speed, solid route running, and serious red zone upside. But once he got to Carolina, it was a different story. The Panthers were in flux. Quarterback instability, coaching changes, and a struggling offense didn't do any favors for a young wideout try to find his place. In his rookie season, Marshall played 13 games and caught just 17 passes for 138 yards. No touchdowns, no real rhythm. But you could chalk that up to a rough offensive environment. Year 2 was a bit better. 28 receptions, close to 500 yards, and a single touchdown. Nothing earth-shattering, but he showed flashes. There were moments where you could see the guy that scouts fell in love with in college. He made a few contested catches, got behind defenses on a couple of plays, and looked like he might be turning the corner. Heading into year 3, the buzz around him picked up again. The thinking was this could be the breakout year. But it didn't happen. Instead, Marshall suited up for just 9 games, made 19 catches for 139 yards, and eventually parted ways with Carolina. What followed was a short stint with the 49ers where he barely saw the field, and then another quick stop with the Raiders, where again, the opportunities were almost non-existent. He ended the season with just 3 catches for 41 yards. So why are the Eagles interested? Why take a chance on a guy with limited production across 3 teams in as many years? It comes down to fit, timing, and upside. This is the kind of low-risk, high-reward move Philly has become known for under their current front office. They're betting on traits, not just stats. At 24 years old, Marshall still has time to grow. The talent never disappeared. It just hasn't had the right situation to shine. And if there's a place where a receiver like him could thrive, it's in this Eagles offense. Let's be real, Jalen Hurts changes everything. He's not just a dual-threat quarterback, he's a stabilizing force. He makes smart reads, knows how to extend plays, and give his receivers chances to make things happen. And unlike Marshall's previous teams, the Eagles are built to win now. The offensive line is elite. The coaching staff knows what they're doing. And the skill positions are loaded with players who demand attention from defenses, which could give someone like Marshall the breathing room he needs to finally get going. Now, Philly doesn't often run a ton of 3 wide receiver sets, but that doesn't mean the third wideout isn't important. Look at the Super Bowl, depth mattered. Having a reliable WR3 can be the difference between a stall drive and a scoring play. And while Marshall probably isn't walking in as a starter, he's stepping into a group where he can learn from top-tier receivers and compete for a real role. If he can contribute on special teams or show something unique in camp, he's got a legit shot at locking down a roster spot, maybe even as the 6th receiver. And let's not forget who's calling the shots here. The Eagles' front office is known for making calculated bets like this. They've got a history of picking up players who didn't quite work out elsewhere, but still have the physical tools to be molded into something useful. Marshall fits that mold perfectly. He's got the frame, he's got the athleticism, and he comes from a big-time college program that knows how to prepare guys for the pros. LSU has sent tons of talent to the league, and Philly knows that. That background matters. This one-year deal isn't just a shot in the dark. It's a strategic depth move. It gives the team flexibility and a potential reward if Marshall finally taps into that second-round potential. Worst-case scenario, they move on without much cost. Best case, they unlock a playmaker who's still got his best football ahead of him. And remember, he's only 24. That's younger than some incoming rookies. So while the production so far hasn't wowed anyone, the book on Terrace Marshall Jr. is far from closed. It'll come down to development. How quickly he can adjust to the playbook, how he performs in training camp, and whether he can build chemistry with Hurts. But make no mistake, this is the kind of roster move that can quietly become a steal. Don't be surprised if he starts making noise in preseason or even carves out a role by midseason. When you got a team this competitive, every edge matters. And if the Eagles can pull another gem out of a forgotten name like this, it just shows why they stay one step ahead of the rest of the league. Now, while that signing gets fans talking, there's another storyline brewing that's got even deeper emotional weight to it: the possible return of a Philly legend. That's right, Brandon Graham. And if you thought his retirement was set in stone, think again. The man himself said he's only 90% retired. That leftover 10%, that's where things get interesting. During a recent interview, Graham admitted he's still training like he's got another season in him. He hasn't stopped preparing his body like an athlete. For him, staying ready isn't just about general fitness. It's about being in football shape. He made it clear that the door isn't completely closed. He's still got that itch. He talked about how training for a game is just different, how the routine, the discipline, the locker room vibes, they're hard to walk away from when it's been your life for over a decade. You could hear the passion in his voice. This isn't someone who's disconnected from a game. Not even close. And you can't blame him. Graham has built his entire career around intensity and heart. He's been one of those guys who brings the energy every snap, every week, every year. Even last season, with limited reps, he showed flashes of exactly who he's always been. According to PFF, he earned a solid overall grade of 78. Against the run, he pulled an impressive 80. In pass rushing situations, he held steady with a 71.8. And this wasn't just fluff. He tallied 3.5 sacks, 20 total pressures, 13 quarterback hurries, and 3 QB hits, all in just 169 pass rushing snaps. Those are numbers that scream efficiency. He didn't need a full workload to make an impact. So yeah, the man still has gas in the tank. But whether or not he comes back, that's still up in the air. What's clear is that he's not just another name in the locker room. This is a 2-time Super Bowl champion, a guy who will go down as one of the greatest to ever wear the Eagles uniform. Since being drafted 13th overall back in 2010, a pick that, at the time, sparked plenty of debate, he's gone on to silence every doubter. Remember that iconic strip sack in the Super Bowl? That moment alone would have sealed his legacy. But Graham's done so much more than just that. He was named second-team All-Pro in 2016, made the Pro Bowl in 2020, and over the course of his career has stacked up 76.5 sacks. That puts him third all-time in franchise history. But more than stats, it's the leadership, the energy, the resilience. He holds the record for most games played in an Eagles uniform, a testament to his durability and consistency through the years. You don't build that kind of resume by accident. You build it by showing up every day, every season, no matter the circumstances. That's exactly why, even now, the team hasn't ruled anything out. While the front office is clearly preparing for a future without Graham, bringing in fresh talent, signing depth pieces on the edge, and even considering more additions through the draft, they also know that if he decides to run it back, he's still got something real to offer. And make no mistake, this isn't a guy who would return just to be a voice in the locker room. If Graham comes back, it's because he believes he can still play at a high level. And based on what we saw last season, there's plenty of reason to believe him. The Eagles aren't taking any chances, though. They've already added a new player on the edge. Another defender is returning to the team after a brief stint away, and a younger guy who is already in the system is expected to take on a bigger role. They're covering their bases, preparing for all scenarios. Whether Graham comes back or not, they're making sure the rotation up front stays strong, because that's been a key part of their identity for years. Relentless, deep defensive line that keeps offenses on their heels. But don't think that means they wouldn't welcome him back. Quite the opposite. If he walks through those doors again ready to suit up, you can bet the whole building would light up. Coaches, players, fans, everyone. He's a beloved figure in Philadelphia for a reason. And even now, even at this stage of his career, there's a sense that he could still help push this team over the top one more time. And let's be honest, the idea of Brandon Graham chasing a third Super Bowl ring, that's the kind of storyline that writes itself. It's poetic, it's emotional, and it's not out of the realm of possibility. This Eagle squad is still in win-now mode. They've got the quarterback. They've got the weapons. They've got the culture. Adding a veteran like Graham back into the mix wouldn't just boost the depth. It would raise the emotional temperature of the whole team. Because when you've got a guy who's done it all, still hungry, still grinding, it rubs off on everyone around him. Now, it's important to recognize that this kind of comeback wouldn't be easy. After stepping away from the rhythm of the season, from the brutal week-to-week grind, it takes real mental and physical toughness to return. But if there's one player who could pull it off, it's Graham. He's done nothing but beat the odds his entire career. From early criticism to bouncing back from injuries, he's always found a way to push forward. That's just who he is. So what does this all mean? Is he coming back? Is this just a veteran keeping the door slightly cracked out of habit? Or is there real intent behind those words? At this point, it's hard to say for sure. But one thing's clear, that 10% of him that's not retired yet, that's the part still chasing greatness. That's the part still dreaming of one more Sunday in midnight green. And that's the part the Eagles and their fans will be keeping a close eye on as the offseason unfolds. Because if Brandon Graham decides he's got one more run in him, there won't be many dry eyes in Philadelphia. He's more than a player. He's a symbol of the grit and passion that defines this franchise. And whether he comes back or not, his legacy is already secure. But if he does, it's going to be one hell of a ride. Now the question is, do you think we'll see number 55 on the field again in 2025? If you believe the comeback is real, hit that yes. And if you think he's truly hung up the cleats for good, let us know no. Either way, it's been incredible watching this man's journey. And if there's more still to come, you can bet we'll be right here for it. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. A viral video of Marcus Williams' surprise arrival at Philadelphia Eagles headquarters has taken the NFL world by storm, sparking massive speculation and excitement. The footage, posted just hours ago, shows the former cornerback walking into the Eagles facility with an air of mystery, leaving fans, analysts, and insiders scrambling to understand what this unexpected move could mean for the team. As one of the most talked about signings in recent weeks, Williams' name is on everyone's lips, and the buzz is only intensifying. Marcus Williams, known for his time with various NFL teams, including the New York Jets, Arizona Cardinals, and most recently, the Chicago Bears, has always been a player with a turbulent but promising career. However, it's his experience and versatility in the secondary that has Philadelphia intrigued. Many believe that this move could be a game-changer for a defense that's been looking for a spark. His potential fit with the Eagles system is now at the forefront of discussions, with many experts noting that Williams could provide the stability and depth the Eagles have been desperately seeking. The excitement surrounding the signing is amplified by the fact that Williams' career has seen its fair share of ups and downs. A quick glance at his past reveals a string of brief stints with multiple teams. From his signing with the New Orleans Saints in 2018 to his short-lived tenure with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Chicago Bears, Williams' NFL journey has been anything but conventional. Yet, many believe the time away from a regular starting role might be exactly what he needed to refine his skills and be the difference-maker the Eagles are hoping for. Eagles fans have already begun to flood social media with speculations about Williams' role on the team. Some predict that he'll immediately slot into a starting position in the defensive backfield, while others are wondering if the Eagles are bringing him in as a key depth piece. What is clear, however, is that this move has reignited hope for a defense that showed signs of vulnerability in past seasons. The question on everyone's mind is, can Williams live up to the hype in Philly? Beyond his physical talents on the field, Marcus Williams brings a gritty, resilient personality that embodies the spirit of Philadelphia. Known by former teammates as a quiet leader, Williams lets his work ethic and discipline speak volumes. He's never been one to chase the spotlight, but those close to him say he thrives under pressure and possesses a deep football IQ, something that could prove invaluable in high-stakes matchups. His journey through the league, filled with challenges and short-term contracts, has molded him into a mentally tough competitor who doesn't take a single snap for granted. Coaches who've worked with Williams often praise his adaptability and willingness to mentor younger players. That veteran presence is exactly what the Eagles' secondary needs as it looks to solidify a consistent identity. While he may not have always held a long-term role on past teams, his understanding of multiple defensive systems gives him an edge. He's a plug-and-play athlete with a knack for quickly grasping new schemes. In a locker room full of emerging talent, Williams could serve as the glue that holds a transitioning defense together. Williams' physical playing style also aligns perfectly with the Eagles' aggressive defensive philosophy. He's not afraid to deliver big hits, step up and run coverage, or challenge receivers at the line. That fearless approach, combined with his knack for reading offenses, makes him an ideal candidate to shut down explosive plays in critical moments. It's this combination of instinct, experience, and toughness that could turn him into a late-career asset capable of helping Philly punch its ticket to another Super Bowl. More importantly, Marcus Williams comes with something to prove. After years of bouncing between teams, he's hungry, not just to contribute, but to win. That hunger, that chip on his shoulder, could be exactly what sparks a new fire in the Eagles' defense. With the right system, the right leadership, and a franchise willing to bet on him, Williams may finally find the stability and success he's long deserved, and in doing so, help bring another Lombardi trophy to the city of brotherly love. As the dust settles and more details emerge about the signing, one thing is certain. Marcus Williams' arrival in Philadelphia has set the NFL community ablaze. The anticipation for his first practice, first game, and the potential impact he'll have on the Eagles' defense is only growing. Will this be the signing that propels the Eagles to new heights, or will it simply be another chapter in Williams' unpredictable career? The answer to that question will soon unfold on the football field. Stay tuned. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.